Sorry to interrupt.
Are you okay? I need to get out of a toxic relationship.
I work for Dracula.
Count Dracula?
It's the real f***ing Dracula!
So you bring in people to eat?
Well, I will no longer tolerate abuse. I deserve happiness.
Let me spend time with you, okay? You deserve only suffering. I will unleash an army of death. Everyone you care about will suffer because you betrayed me.
For hundreds of years, Renfield has been serving the legendary vampire Count Dracula. The villainous duo find themselves in modern-day Philadelphia, where Renfield begins to regret working for the Prince of Darkness and gets caught in the crosshairs of a vicious crime family. Hey everyone, welcome back to Clubhouse Movies Podcast. I'm your host, Marc Rubalcaba, joined once again by Mr. Abel Pineda. Today we'll be reviewing Renfield, directed by Chris McKay.
Nick Cage's Dracula. Whoa!
Okay.
It's Nick friggin' Cage, man.
I was thinking about this. Nick Cage was also the sorcerer in The Sorcerer's Apprentice.
Yes, he was.
Yes, he was. And he was also, oh my God. The bicycle guy. Not bicycle. Ghost Rider.
Yeah,
he was also Ghost Rider. So Nick Cage is no stranger to over-the-top anti-heroes.
He even played it himself.
Yeah, he did.
Yeah. It's Snake Eyes also.
Snake Eyes? Oh.
Yeah.
Snake. The poker,
It was the movie everyone confuses with Face Off.
Oh, no, Snake Eyes was the one where he was like a wrestling junkie or something like that.
Was he a wrestling junkie?
Yeah, it was in the early 90s, directed by or late 90s, directed by Joel Schumacher. Something to do with he wasn't a wrestler, but it was like a gambling movie and a conspiracy, and he got caught in it. I saw Snake Eyes once on HBO when HBO was actually like a thing, and now it's like a big thing.
That's a long time ago. Yeah, it says, oh no, dude, I think you're mistaking it for something else.
Yeah.
It says Nick Cage stars in a movie as a detective investigating a political assassination at a boxing match in Atlantic City.
Boxing. That's what
boxing.
It
I was like, wrestling.
Okay, fine.
That's why now. Okay.
Yeah.
Same thing. Same difference.
Yeah. So a long time ago, Snake Eyes. But anyway, we like Nick Cage. We're all up for it.
Yeah.
I feel like without Nick Cage, this movie wouldn't have a leg to stand on.
Not at all.
But it did remind me a lot of, did you ever see Warm Bodies with Nicholas Hoult?
I did.
Not a bad movie.
No, it was. It was a surprise. For me, it was a surprise hit.
And it made sense.
Yeah.
It made sense that zombies, why they want to eat brains, why they want to eat people, and why they want all that. This movie was just a good Nicolas Cage, looking awkward. Yes. Renfield.
Let me tell you, he completely sold this Dracula character he was playing. He was in it.
I liked it also because it was a sequel to the original Dracula starring Bela Lugosi.
Oh, right.
To which they actually showed previously on Dracula.
Yeah. And Nick was the Renfield, right? Or esque character. He was.
No, there was a Renfield in those movies.
Yeah.
It's part of the story. And they deep faked Nicholas Hoult and the Nicholas brothers, the two Nicholases into the old movie.
Oh, it's good. It's good.
Yeah, so that was pretty awesome. And it makes me think how much they really screwed up the Dark Universe with Tom Cruise fighting the mummy.
Yeah, well,
fighting a sexy female mummy.
I completely forgot that movie existed.
Everyone did.
Holy cow.
That movie is awesome because they actually released the wrong tracks when they exported it.
No way.
So if you watch it, there's actually just a background audio track, and it's them going with no audio, no nothing. I remember watching when it first came out. What the hell's going on? It's is this some sort of edgy, trying to catch my attention, because they're falling out of an airplane.
Oh, right. That was weird.
Yeah.
Oh man, now I remember that. That was so off-putting.
And they had a whole spread where Javier Bardem was going to be the Invisible Man, and Johnny Depp was going to be somebody.
Yeah, it looked promising until that folly.
Russell Crowe was Hyde, Mr. Hyde?
Jekyll and Hyde.
Jekyll and Hyde, yeah, both of them. So that failed. So then they made The Invisible Man as just a standalone movie, and they made this Dracula as a standalone movie because I think they're all Universal movies.
Yeah, because there's another Dracula-esque movie coming out. It was a trailer I saw before this movie, before Renfield. Another Universal property. It's like the final final voyage of this one ship.
Oh my God, you're right.
Yeah.
That was the one where he transported, or Dracula moved from Transylvania to London.
Yeah.
And he killed everyone.
On the ship.
Yeah, they even showed part of that in the previously on Dracula. Yeah. But they're completely unrelated, so it was really strange.
But it was a Universal property. So it was just like you're watching like a pre-Dracula movie as you're watching a Dracula movie.
I got
like,
that too.
What?
But then as the movie went on, I forgot a lot of what was going on.
Yeah.
In this movie.
Yeah, there was a lot going on.
And the other one that didn't make it was Dracula Untold.
Oh, right.
Starring Luke Evans as Dracula.
Yeah.
I think that was supposed to be part of the whole game also.
Yeah, it's like just bring back Underworld, I guess.
Yeah.
Like the Lycans.
Well, as we discussed earlier, they were going to have Underworld versus Blade.
Yeah, that would have been
then
cool.
Disney bought Blade. So
Did you see the little nod here in this movie where obviously it was with the crime family is the Lobos.
Yes. I'll get to that.
All right.
Because
I'm glad I was not the only one that picked it up.
Yeah. There were even a few, like we just kind of watched the trailer really fast. There's a lot of things that they kind of cut out of the movie.
Yeah.
That I feel like the movie was supposed to go in like a little bit of a different direction.
Yeah.
And I feel like they should have, they need to do a couple more passes on the story on this, but at least you got Nicolas Cage in one of my favorite scenes. We'll get to it, but I kind of want to get to him and sitting there in the apartment. Oh, you feel stressed?
Yeah.
Oh my God. I didn't know.
Well, what made me laugh before that scene was
with his eyes,
his stupid eyes.
his
stupid Nick Cage eyes.
His headless horseman teeth.
Yeah. Holy cow.
Yeah.
No, but and the thing is, I don't know if you so like what we're touching on here is obviously everyone knows, or you should know by now, like all the things that get Dracula into your home is he has to be invited in. Right, and that's the running joke in this freaking movie.
It is, but no, they didn't mention it.
No, they don't mention it.
You would need to know about Dracula lore.
Yeah, but like if you see it, you're like, huh?
Yeah,
like I see it.
Slow clap.
Yeah,
yes.
And the thing is, even though I was in a theater that had maybe like 15 people in it, the people that got it were the majority.
Yeah.
So you'd hear someone go,
thank you, Renfield.
Yeah. He's like, oh, right. Welcome mats.
There should. Okay,
that's why my welcome mat says bring wine next time.
Yeah, or wipe your paws off.
Yeah, wipe your paws off. That's a good one too. He showed me your mitts.
Okay, so let's get into a little bit of what this movie's about here. So Renfield is the legendary, I believe he's the accountant or the lawyer who went to sell him Carfax Abbey from London.
Oh yeah,
a long time ago when he lived in Transylvania, but he went crazy and became his familiar.
Yeah,
and then I believe in the story he actually went to the insane asylum, but here he is kind of repurposed as not his familiar once again, but a superhero of sorts.
Yeah,
and that's to me also where this movie kind of like can it be any kind of bugs he can eat? Can he eat any bugs?
Yeah.
So I feel like Dracula gave him a power to where if he eats any kind of bug, he will have powers.
Yeah, and it's like they don't really dive into it much. They don't say like if you eat a bug this like a bug this large, will your power be tenfold versus eating a fly or a gnat. I don't want to tie this into another movie that may or may not rhyme with the Schmario Brothers. But different things have different consequences in that movie, and that was kind of the fun part of this. But if he had like a spider, it'd be nice if he had like Spider-Man powers. Yeah.
Or if he had an ant, he had Ant-Man powers. Oh my God.
The thing
Missed
is with that Schmario movie, we're aware of the lore there. At least the vast majority of the public is.
But they actually told you what it was very quickly.
Yeah.
He got the Catman suit.
Yeah, you're like, I put two and two together.
So that was a bit of a what the heck's going on? So they should have said he gave me powers. Now whenever I eat any bug, I have crack powers.
Yeah. Exactly.
On crack powers. So they find themselves in modern day Philadelphia, and I believe this was a nod to an American Werewolf in London, where
I thought you were going to say Fresh Prince of Bel-Air.
Yeah, where Dracula was damaged in a previous encounter.
Okay.
and his makeup was off the hook. He
Oh,
looked
yeah.
like a zombie.
He did. Like his ear was all like hanging. He had dangling skin.
So the dangling skin, that's almost direct from American Werewolf in London, where he's like, oh man, I died. I got killed by a werewolf, and now look at me.
Yeah.
And, like his skin was dangling back and forth.
Oh man, it was grotesque.
Yeah, and the makeup on this movie was really good. I think one of the Walking Dead makeup effects artists actually wrote this.
Oh really?
Yeah.
That's freaking cool.
And directed by Adam McKay, by the way, who is from Tomorrow War, from
Oh.
a bunch of movies that came out recently.
Yeah, his name is. He's familiar. Tomorrow War wasn't bad.
Yeah, it wasn't bad, but I don't know.
You know.
Time is a river.
It's a river.
Time is a river.
He gets the big stars.
So apparently in this era, Renfield has some autonomy, and he goes to support groups for a-hole bosses.
I was going to say sad people meets.
Sad people meets.
Yeah, codependency meetings.
Codependency meetings at the local church.
Yeah.
And he gets revenge on the codependent abusers.
So he gets vengeance for them unbeknownst to them.
Yeah, and feeds them to Dracula because Dracula lives in an abandoned hospital with somehow wall art that's inspired by
Game of Thrones
blood bags.
Yeah.
Which they never fully explained.
It's like they were trying to tie in what's that terrible movie with Morbius? Stupid blood bags.
Yeah.
Gosh,
missed opportunities.
Yeah.
Because, if Dracula's still alive and still has all these powers, I'm assuming he should still have money.
Yeah. And that was the thing here, too. He was out of money because Dracula in this universe is just terrible at managing his money.
And people know who Dracula is. So we don't know if it's by legend or there actually was a Dracula and he was lost. We know that Renfield is a wanted criminal throughout the years.
Yeah. Throughout time,
but somehow he doesn't they don't have pictures of him, but they don't know.
Yeah.
But anyway, he goes to kill a bunch of like douchebags.
Yeah.
Right. Oh, I just forgot. This is like my favorite part.
Okay.
The ska jokes at the beginning.
Dude,
ska is so bad.
The ska jokes.
Ska is so bad, but they were good.
And I'm going to be on the other side of this. Like, sometimes I'm in the mood for ska, man.
Ska is just oompa music. I'm sorry. Oompa music.
So I like ska punk. More punk.
Well, go back to 1999.
Oh, why was that so long ago?
Dude, were you one of those people who had the duct tape,
the patch? No,
the patches, and the duct tape. And
I was a closet ska punk,
and the chest patterns all over your clothes.
No, with the freaking giant spikes on your hair,
spikes in your hair, and the
spikes on your shoulders,
denim everywhere.
No,
oh my god,
that was
horrible. Was a bad 3 years for humanity.
Man, that was nuts. Like Real Big Fish was really big.
I know of no ska bands, but like I remember them at the meeting. Like these guys are really into ska, and it really sucks.
It was funny. Like as someone who will time to time enjoy ska, this is the best when they riff on ska.
Yeah, I think that's when for the first 15 minutes of this movie, I'm like, I get this. I get where this movie's going. Dogging on ska.
Like this humor. It's my time.
Yeah. Oh man, ska was so bad.
Oh man.
Ew.
Oh man!
You think rapping trailers is bad? Imagine ska.
If they had ska in this trailer of this movie, I wouldn't have agreed to watch it. I don't know. You're on your own here, pal.
They should have Dracula kill a ska band.
Oh, that would have been great. Kills him with a trumpet. There you go.
Yeah, it's just ska music.
Oh man, that's what they sound like.
Ska. It is ska.
Oh man,
everyone just plays their own thing.
It is broken jazz.
It's jazz on Down syndrome.
That was awesome.
Where were we? Okay, ska sucks. Okay, so he goes to kill these drug dealers who stole drugs from a bigger crime family while listening to ska.
Yeah.
He kills them all, and then
very comedically, by the way.
Very comedically, and these are just the punks who stole from the crime family.
Yeah.
So the crime family actually sent another elite assassin to kill them.
What was his name? It was
just some giant like Andre the Giant looking guy.
Yeah, he looked like a luchador.
And then Renfield kills him too. And then
Punches his head off.
And like throws it at the car or something because he's got like superpowers. And then
Because he had a bug.
He had a
He had a
bug.
little scratch in his throat, you know?
And then this guy, the guy who sent the guy from the crime family is Tedward Lobo.
Tedward?
This just says, do they call him Ted Lobo? But it says Tedward in the IMDb.
Oh my God. Oh yeah. Played by Ben Schwartz.
Yeah.
Very expertly, I will say.
Yeah, the expert D-bag. He just gets the F's out of there.
Yeah.
And then he goes into the checkpoint from Awkwafina's character, who plays a cop, Rebecca.
Yeah.
And she's like, "Oh, Lobo's like out here." Then the Lobo crime family then just drives in there. I'm the Lobo crime family guy. Like,
Yeah.
it was so cartoonish.
Like she shoots his tires out and starts chasing him on foot.
Yeah.
Like throws, he's throwing bags or kilos of cocaine at her. And then she just throws her baton at his head.
Yeah.
It was pretty fun. It was fun.
Yeah, there were some good moments in there. I feel like there were some directions that they really should have kept going in, but they didn't. But he's part of the Lobo crime family. They arrest him. He goes, "Yeah, someone killed all my crew," and then he gets let out because everyone in the city is apparently in the Lobo.
Yeah,
a Ba guy. Ba guy. Everyone
throwing it back.
Yeah, everyone's ba in Philadelphia.
Whatever that is.
By the Lobo. Lobo crime family. So she's all mad because somehow her dad died.
Yeah.
Stepping up to the Lobo crime family, and she's got a sister in the FBI who just hangs out for some reason in the background, but we don't really define her character that well.
Yeah, exactly.
She was there for some reason.
There's a lot of maybe.
Yeah.
Maybe.
Renfield decides to go to
where's he going?
He goes. Well, I know he goes back there for some reason.
So he goes. Let's see. Actually, you wrote down line for line. I wrote it down. Okay, so drug deal gone wrong. Okay.
So Lobo crime family wants to get revenge on Awkwafina.
So yeah,
they want to put her in line,
and Awkwafina wants to get them in trouble also.
Yeah.
So we're calling her Rebecca. We're just gonna call her Awkwafina.
Call her Awkwafina. Nick Cage.
So, Nick Cage. Yeah, because Nick Cage. He can't call him something else.
Yeah.
Dracula is Nick Cage.
Yeah, because she found out the pen or something, and she started like going backwards trying to find.
So she goes to I guess Renfield's hangout, which is this weird like goth bar. Yeah, which actually has a smoking head out of it.
Ska bar and Boff bar.
Yeah, so he's in there doing his thing. He's like, "Oh, life is fun," and
because Dracula didn't want to drink any more
trash
anymore trash. He wants some nuns or some cheerleaders.
Renfield, bringing innocent victims. I want a handful of nuns, a busload of cheerleaders.
He says, "Give me happy couples. Give me some nuns. Give me a busload of cheerleaders." And what does Renfield see as he's sitting down at this bar?
A bunch of nuns, the cheer squad going down. Yeah.
And they all come into this place that is obviously goth. So you see nuns there. You're like, whoa.
Yeah, goth bar. That's where the nuns hang out too. So then the Lobo crime family comes for retaliation.
Yeah.
And they go after Renfield also, right? Is that why they're there?
No. So Renfield is actually trying to get out of there before all of this goes down. So
because they're after Awkwafina.
Yeah, they're after Awkwafina.
Because she went looking for Renfield.
Yeah. So
but
as he goes,
she's after Renfield. Yeah.
Exactly. So as he goes to sit down, what is it? Renfield, like the guy, I guess, what is it? Ted Lobo. He realizes, hey, you're the guy, You're
the guy who messed up my day.
Yeah. So then Renfield stabs him in the neck with a fork.
Yeah.
And then calamity ensues.
Lots of fights.
Yeah.
And then they're really gory fights.
Like overtly gory.
People apart. It's like Kill Bill style.
Yeah, like people are pressure cookers just ready to be popped.
That's pretty good.
That's what it is.
So he saves the day because there were a bunch of patrons there and they didn't realize that they were all there for them.
Yeah, limbs go missing, gallons of blood.
Yeah.
A table leg goes through a whole person.
And then Renfield and Awkwafina have a thing.
Yeah.
She doesn't realize that he's the one that she's looking for.
Yeah.
But then we also meet more of the Lobo crime family where he's got his mom.
Yeah.
Who's like
played, what is it? Her, I don't even know what's her name. Shore Agdashlu whatever.
Sure.
She plays Bella Francesca Lobo.
Yeah, Mama Loba.
Yeah.
Mama Lobo. Okay, so this is where I was kind of thinking
Mama Loba.
this movie was going to go in one direction, but didn't, because we saw her in the dungeon with a torture room.
Yeah.
I thought that they were werewolves.
I did too.
And I thought that they were at war with Dracula.
Yes.
Anyway.
Because as we all know, werewolves and vampires are sworn enemies.
I saw the movie.
Twilight, duh.
Yeah. I was going Underworld.
Everybody's like, what?
Wolf boy.
Little
You stay away
curveball
from
there.
my girlfriend, wolf boy.
Oh, woo!
You. I probably say this all the time, but like every time I saw a Twilight movie in theaters and Taylor Lautner took off his shirt, I was always that douchebag in the theater.
Ow! Ow! Oh, man. Salami nipples. Gross.
I know you vampire, you're cold, so I'm gonna hold Bella because it's cold out here. But I'm a wolf boy. And I'm cold. I'm warm.
I'm taking my shirt
I'm
off.
warm-blooded. I'm gonna hold Bella.
Ow!
This guy, I'm gonna pop him with a balloon, like a balloon.
Get out of here, Taylor Lautner.
Taylor Lautner, where you been, Taylor Lautner?
I don't know.
You think he tried to be Black Adam or something because Edward became Batman? He's like, I want to be a superhero too.
Yeah, he's like, I can do it.
But I don't think so, Taylor Lautner.
Yeah.
You with that squirrel-looking face of yours. Stay in the gym, Taylor Lautner. That's all I'm saying.
Go do some wolf push-ups, whatever that is.
Wolf boy.
Why don't you go shave your chest, boy?
Yeah, the Honest trailer had like a call that was like starring like, you know, like this guy and that guy and shirtless weird dudes.
Shirtless weird dudes. Did we ever see the cutscene? Like it was just a bunch of the dudes doing like gestures, like they were angry. They look like boy bands ready to fight each other.
Sure.
It's like a teenage scene of Anchorman. All the Anchormen are trying to fight each other, but they're wolf boys.
So I was hoping that Dracula would end up being the good guy in this movie, saving the day from the epidemic of wolf boys.
Yeah, but alas, we were amiss.
I was sad.
But
missed opportunity.
Yeah, Dracula was full on Dracula, unapologetically a Dracula.
Yes. So Dracula finds out about his support group. Oh, and also the Lobos, they find out they're like, oh, it's this guy and he lives at this lair. They find out where Dracula's lair is.
Oh, right. Yeah.
And then they go to like mess him up because they think that's where Renfield used to live.
Yeah, they think that's Renfield's lair.
And Dracula just messes these guys up.
Destroys them. And of course, Tedward, gets just punched in the stomach by Dracula, but not before he tells Dracula, man, we're evil. We're trying to do everything you're doing.
Yeah, we're into it.
Okay.
So, and then Renfield, for some reason, gets his own life for a little while because his support group told him, like, just get your own apartment, do your own thing, and it'll be great.
Yeah. Words of affirmation.
Yeah. Somehow he had a whole life within 24 hours.
Yeah. He had a quaint little studio.
A little studio apartment.
He painted it like all the bright colors. He went to Macy's and bought this like this checker pattern sweater that was just multicolored.
Yeah, because he's always wearing like this weird like 1800s getup.
Yeah.
1800s suit. And Dracula finds out where he lives.
Yeah.
And he's sitting there in the kitchen. He's like, how did he? Oh.
Yeah, the welcome mat.
The welcome mat let him in because, as you know, vampires cannot come in unless you welcome them in.
Yes.
Unless you allow them to enter your house. He's like, thank you, Renfield. And this I think was the best scene in the movie because he's just sitting there at the kitchen table, like dressed like Dracula.
Yeah.
Just wide eyes with these like Sleepy Hollow teeth.
Yeah, and then he's holding a martini glass with eyeballs in it. Yeah. Like just nonchalantly holding it. Like no one mentions it.
You're nothing. You're nothing. He's like eating people while they're talking.
Yeah. It's terrible.
Lord of Darkness.
He's just I'm there.
Yeah. And as we say, this movie just kind of blasts through and then somehow he leaves.
Yeah.
Then Renfield goes to his support group.
Yeah.
Dracula follows him.
Well, so the thing is Dracula finds, so as he meets Dracula or Dracula meets Renfield in his apartment, they're having like this they're not really back and forth conversation, but Dracula is approaching and pressing Renfield into the wall as Renfield's trying to say these words of affirmation, telling himself he's strong enough as he cycles through this book.
Yeah.
And when when Dracula takes it, he knows immediately to go to the back to find out where it's printed, and obviously it's a church. He's like,
oh yeah.
He's like, how could you betray me?
That's pretty good.
Yeah. And then he takes off, and because movies, Renfield makes it to this place before Dracula, who can fly.
Yeah. I guess he had to like figure out a map quest or something.
Yeah, he's like, oh wait, I don't know where this is.
He didn't have his phone.
Yeah.
He's been asking people. We're killing everyone in every church until he reached the right one.
Probably.
Yeah,
that's
right.
probably what happened off screen.
So he goes to the church and he's like, oh no, my boss is coming. We all get the hell out of here. He's like, oh well, your boss this, and then Dracula shows up.
Yeah,
come right in.
He's like, no, Renfield, no.
Yeah.
Would you like to introduce yourself to the group?
I'm the Prince of Valacia. Some call me the Dark One. Others, the Lord of Death. However, to most, I am known simply as
Renfield's boss!
Dracula.
Okay, obviously we're dealing with a little bit more than just narcissism here.
So he's all mad and he's like, oh no, your boss is Dracula, or and he kills everybody.
Yeah.
That was sad.
Yeah, and he kills everyone as Renfield is flying in slow-mo backwards because he just got kicked in the chest by Dracula.
Yeah, and Dracula moves faster than lightning, faster than bullet time, and is able to kill an entire group of like 20 or so people.
Yeah.
Then and there. And I guess he ate them too, probably, because they're good people. Oh, good people. I like good people.
Yeah, he likes them.
I like some good people.
The same way Nick Cage does.
Yeah. And Dracula makes a deal with the Lobo family and kind of becomes like the de facto like boyfriend of the Lobo, Mama Lobo.
Yeah, because she's weird. And murderous.
And Awkwafina and Renfield decide to go after.
Well, so what happens is So after everyone dies at this sad people meet, it's codependency meetup, Awkwafina happens to show up with her partner there, and they see Renfield covered in blood, and they're like, oh, you're under arrest and all this stuff. So they fast forward her outside. She has him in her squad car. And her partner is going to call it in. He calls it in, but he calls in because we find out that he is also he is a bot cop.
He's a bar guy.
He's a bar guy.
Bar guy,
like Boston accent, bar guy.
Bar guy. What's a bar guy?
He's a bar guy.
What's a bar guy?
Go back to the episodes. Yeah. But
deep cut. Bar guy.
Deep.
Oh my god.
Yeah. So obviously now we have the cops coming, and we have the Lobo family showing up, and Awkwafina does some crazy bullet things, and they end up driving all the way to nice switch. They drive to Renfield's. Yeah, they drive to Renfield's place, and she wakes up because she doesn't realize she was shot in the shoulder.
Yeah,
and he made her cookies.
Cookies.
Yeah, and then just another crazy calamity ensues.
Yeah, so pretty much the Lobo and the cops, cops, go after them.
Yeah.
But since he's like a superhero now, he eats some bugs from an ant farm.
Yeah.
And
of which was actually nodded earlier in the scene because he actually gave one ant to a kid in that apartment when he was essentially a new man and found himself away from Dracula.
Yeah, because that's what I was thinking. It had to be like an ant from Dracula.
Yeah.
Like maybe like it reproduced in this ant farm. But
something.
It was just any bugs.
It was just any
old bug.
He was looking for bugs.
Like he was going through dirt. Like I need to find a bug.
Give me a worm.
Give me a worm from the
Give me a worm. Why did I sound like Beetlejuice right there? These guys are good. Give me that.
Showtime.
Yeah.
Showtime.
You just got to say 3 times. That's it. 3 times and I'll give you everything you want.
Yeah. I got to get married. I got all kinds of roles.
Yeah.
But anyway.
Dang it, I'm excited for that sequel if it's good.
Dude, I'm so mad that Michael Keaton isn't Ken anymore in the Barbie movie.
Oh,
It's Ryan Gosling.
oh right, the Gooseling.
Yeah.
No,
Do you
thanks.
remember who when Michael Keaton was Ken? What movie it was?
No,
Toy Story.
really?
He was the voice of Ken in the Toy
I
Story.
didn't realize that
movie.
was him.
Yeah, that's why he always sounded all sleazy.
Oh, I've
And
seen
then he
all those
finally found
freaking
Barbie. He
movies.
finally found his girlfriend.
Dang it!
Holy cow, she's so beautiful.
Now I need to rewatch Toy Story 3.
Yeah. Oh boy. But anyway, where was we? Okay, so they get in this big fight scene.
Where was we?
I am
Whoa.
running on 2 hours of sleep and
Yeah.
hours and days of work. I'm so tired.
And it's hot today.
And it's hot today, and I'm drunk. Where was I? Hot as a pickle. Twice as ugly.
This is a pickle. So now we have the scene at the apartment where Aquafina. It's we're gonna call it the trailer moment because it's where Aquafina and we'll say Rebecca and Renfield are just destroying the bad guys and the bad guys.
Yeah, because he even pulls some dude's arm off, and the guy's like, "Whoa!"
Yeah, he's like, whoa, that's
He's like,
impressive.
whoa.
You can do that.
Yeah, so it just ends with like, you remember from Dusk Till Dawn? Remember the fight at the strip club at the end where the vampires just turn everyone into pieces? I think that's what they were alluding to because they just he just tore everyone into pieces.
Yeah, it's the
there.
pieces. Yeah, he stabbed the guy with another guy's arm.
And it just ended with like a pile of like bodies at the bottom of the apartment complex.
Yep, on top of an SUV. Quite nice.
So then they find out that the Lobo family is working with Dracula.
Yeah.
They also find out the Lobo family has Aquafina's sister,
Yeah.
the FBI agent.
And Dracula makes all these lint flying around.
Yeah.
Dracula made all of the bad guys familiars.
Yes, so they now can eat
Can eat power bugs.
power bugs, apparently.
They're freaking Kirby all of a sudden.
Yeah, so they bring a bunch of like steaks and like holy water and everything. To,
Yeah.
like, we'll just Google like what it takes to kill a vampire.
Yeah.
So they go to the compound and have like a blade fight.
It really is a blade fight. How did I put that together?
Yeah, it's a blade fight. Like
That was a lot
they had
happening.
a blade finale.
Yeah.
Man, Blade was so cool.
It was cool. It was way ahead of its
I
time,
miss
man.
Wesley Snipes. Yeah, not only was he the first Marvel superhero movie, but it was the first black Marvel superhero movie.
Yeah.
So
it's true.
First rated R black
Yeah.
superhero movie.
Yeah, there you go, Deadpool.
You know,
We weren't the first rated R superhero movie.
I know.
Anyway,
Where were we?
we're back.
And they have swords, similar powers,
Yeah.
healing abilities and whatnot.
Even cool.
Yeah.
And guns.
Dude, Blade was so cool.
So badass.
Well, anyway, they have a Blade fight finale.
Yeah.
Just everybody
And
dies.
There was just one fun scene where Renfield punches Tedward so hard in the stomach that it breaks like all of his bones. And they do this bullet time X-ray.
Oh yeah, it's like a Mortal Kombat X-ray. mode.
Yeah, it's like fatality.
Yeah.
Fatality!
And Renfield hits him so hard that Tedward vomits up blood and poops himself.
Yeah.
Like explosive. It was great. It was a good time.
Yeah. And then they have a final duel with Dracula.
Yeah.
And they build the what do you call this? The circle.
Yeah.
Circle of trust, spell ring or whatever.
Yeah, that's what it is.
And
with cocaine.
Yeah. Oh yeah. With any kind of powder apparently works. Yeah. And they trap them there, and then they open the lights, and then the sun blows them up.
Yeah, they beat him down, they blow him up, then they grind him down into concrete ice cubes. And
Well, before that, something they briefly talked about is that he has the power to heal.
yeah,
Because
right.
whenever he would like quarrel with him, he would like open up his stomach and like his guts would fall. He's like, "You need my blood to heal you."
yeah, and he would
like,
give Dracula would bless him with his blood. So they drained Dracula of like a gallon of blood.
with a gallon of blood, and they saved the sister, and they saved the
Oh right,
they saved all the people who went to the support group,
yeah, the support group.
who apparently have been to the afterlife and back. And
Yeah.
have things to talk about.
Yeah, they were dead. Like
things not to talk
There are
about.
things you can't unsee.
I'm actually kind of upset they brought them back, just because like all the stakes of this movie, like
Yeah, there's no stakes anymore.
there were no stakes anymore, no consequences.
All
to these
bad
people.
cuts, man. Bad cuts.
But apparently they were just fine going to the support groups again. And
Yeah.
it was all good. They like we said they put Dracula into cubes of concrete.
Yeah, and then did they put him in a sewer?
They just
or
threw him in the
something?
sewer and hope for the best.
They really did like, oh, he can come back, but it'd take him a very long time. I'm like, all right,
Yeah,
well,
see how long it takes them to T1000 to get
to
it.
erode out of those things. It's like, yeah, you never know.
But if you're gonna see this movie for Nick Cage.
Yeah,
His staring wildly into the camera.
Yeah, he steals the show. I mean, he really is like Dracula, but not Dracula in like this overtly dark way. It's this Dracula who is just like, I'm Dracula.
Yeah, and he didn't like play it like necessarily comedically.
No,
let's say,
but it was real close.
Yeah, it was very. He was chewing it up really.
Yeah, it was the way Nick Cage could play Dracula.
Yes, and the minute we heard Nick Cage was playing Dracula in this movie, we said, give me some of that juice and don't turn it off."
Yeah.
And I think we got that fulfilled.
Yeah, we did.
But being that, I'm going to give this one a B.
Nice.
Nick Cage, with his larger-than-life, awkward mannerisms as Dracula, make Renfield a worthwhile watch. I just wish the story was a little more unique. Renfield, if done perfectly, could have been a classic. Hopefully we see Nick Cage again as Dracula in the future, but in a more polished sequel.
Nice. I'm going to give this one a B-. I said, well, this movie was, I wasn't ecstatic to see it. Once I saw Nick Cage cast as Dracula, I was all for it. He's every bit the actor he says he is, and boy, does he play a good Dracula. My main issue with this movie is that while the highs were very high, the lows were very low. Pair that with a dark movie theater and recliners, and I was about ready to enter Naptown, USA. Enjoy it for what it is, a different Dracula movie.
I was looking at my notes here, and then I also wrote, "F you, Kyle."
Oh, right. The running joke was this guy, Kyle. Nobody cares for Kyle.
I think there had to be a South Park joke.
There had to be. There had to be. You couldn't call him Cartman.
I know, right? Captain Cartman and Kyle.
Captain Cartman. What was the captain's name?
It's here somewhere, but I think it was Captain Cartman. That would have been 2 on the note.
That would have been
Captain Browning.
Captain Browning.
Captain Browning.
Oh.
They should have been Captain Cartman. And
that would have been good.
That would have been good.
Captain Cart. That would have been good too.
Cartman. Carterman.
Carterman. Dude, that would have been great.
So close. There were a lot of missed opportunities in this movie, and I think that's why it didn't really quite bond with me.
Yeah, and the thing is, like all the subplot going on, like for those of us who are aware of Dracula lore, it was there, but it wasn't there wasn't enough to make you go to stay involved in the movie. You know?
They could have just been like, "Oh, is this guy?" But who's this other guy? We don't have any video of him because you can't videotape a vampire. Maybe he went into a garlic store and he couldn't come in. There were so many jokes that they could have played with this guy, but they didn't really do that. And
especially with a comedic actor like Awkwafina, they could have totally had her, just because she was pretty good at staying straight faced through some of these scenes. Mm-hmm. They could have totally played on that.
I know, and she could have rapped a little bit because of
apparently she's an American actress / rapper.
Yeah,
per Google.
There you go. Ska, I don't know, man. Ska's pretty bad.
I'll be honest, I have not heard ska in years. So hey,
until he saw us, man, I remember.
I know what I'm listening to on the way home.
But nobody plays it at once. I actually think I prefer Oompa mariachi music to ska, and I hate Oompa mariachi.
Oh man, that's a reach right there, buddy.
It's a reach, but just barely.
Just barely.
Just barely. I had an epiphany the other day, but we'll talk about that later.
All right.
But anyway, that's been our hot take for Renfield. Remember to like, share, subscribe. Check us out on Twitter, Facebook, wherever we are. We're everywhere now. Woo! I'm your host, Marc Rubalcaba for Mr. Abel Pineda for Clubhouse Movies Podcast. We will catch you next time.
Suck it, Kyle.
Yeah.